everybody. Welcome to my session, Launching Your Career as a Salesforce Business Analyst. My name is Co Forte. I'm a Salesforce Business Analyst in the Atlanta area, and I'm so happy to be here with you today where I want to discuss the mindset, the habits, and the tools that are necessary to transition into the business analyst career. I am going to be asking you at the end of this session to please fill out a survey. It's really helpful to get your feedback on what you received out of this, and we really do value your thoughts and opinions about that. I also want to say a big thank you to everyone who's here today. I expect that you are here because you've done some internal work to know that there's a shift that needs to happen within your career. You've taken internal inventory of where you are right now, and you know there's somewhere else that you want to go because there's more that you want to give. There's more skills that you're just not utilizing to your full potential, and you want to give yourself the opportunity to do something new and step out into an area that you know you can succeed in. So right now, I want to say thank you for really pouring into yourself and giving yourself the opportunity to learn how to become the BA that you want to be. So I want to start this presentation by talking about something that you may already know or have been experiencing, and that is that there is a shift within the technology industry. More companies are expecting Salesforce admins to come with these additional competencies that a business analyst would fill. They want you to have the skills that a business analyst would use, not just to configure Salesforce and know this tool and be able to build automations and fields and objects. They want you to be able to come into their company and really help them to make solutions that work with their overall infrastructure and technology roadmap. Now, some of you may feel like, I really wasn't trained to do that. You might also be in the camp of, I'm currently a solo admin who's expected to do all of these things for my company right now without any training. They're just throwing me in the deep end. And I feel like I need to have the ability to say, I am on top of this instead of feeling like I'm always drowning in all of these many different roles and hats that I'm wearing. I have so much empathy for you today. And as we feel those shifts happening, we do want you to be in a position where you are learning exactly what you need to learn in order to confidently make a transition as opposed to stumbling on that path to make that transition. So let's get into it. What you really are stepping into as a business analyst is a greater capacity to help support and enable organizational change. So what is organizational change and how and why does it happen? Organizational change happens when a company has a technology change or advancement that it really needs to implement. A market shift has happened and it requires us to make a pivot. There's policy change, maybe you're in government and there's new restrictions that you need to be aware of and implement fast within the company. Or there's a merger or acquisition that just requires that we change our processes now. Basically, a company can't keep doing things the way it has been doing it. And you may have been sitting behind your computer at your job saying, okay, well, when people come in and ask me for a new field or a new page layout, I'll just make it because I'm good at that. That's where I've trained, that's where I excel, and I know I can knock that out for people. But the expectation of a business analyst is to guide the organizational through the complexities of that transformation that they're seeking to make. It's complex to go from one state to another because what's changing is not just the technology or the company or the logo or the color scheme. It's people who are changing through this transition. And if you know anything about being a human being, we don't react to change very well at times. And so we need more advocates for this change, because if we have a lot of resistance, that's just going to make adoption of our new solutions that much harder. And that's where business analyst comes in to do all of these different business analyst activities. You may not know what any of these things are right now, but it's something that you can learn along your path. You may already be doing some of these things as well, and you don't have a title for it or a category to put it in. For instance, writing user stories. These user stories or requirements are something that you as an admin may already be receiving at your desk. When you get a case in or a ticket that's telling you, hey, I need this, and you look at it and say, do I have all the information that I need? And who needs to do that? And what changes on the platform need to be made? That's something that a business analyst would do in order to know exactly what the solution needs to be. So you're already on your way. In fact, anyone who's already doing these business analyst activities is a business analyst. Your company may not have given you that title, but you are already doing exactly what an analyst would do. So way to go. You're already launching your career. But there's more that we need to know about the business analyst skills and competencies to really make a strong transition, to know that I'm going from one state to another, and I'm confidently going in that direction. And I want to talk about a few of those now. Some of the characteristics you might have if you are an admin who's leaning into a BA role, you in your company are the, let's run that by that person first. How do you get to be that person in your company? It's usually because you have been out there talking to people, thinking through solutions. You kind of, when people come to you, you know the answer to something, or you know how to get the answer to something. You might also know 2 or 3 other people that can come in on the conversation and kind of give more insight into whatever the question or concern is. So if you're the run that by them first person, you're already leaning into a BA role. If you're asking why before you build something onto the platform, you're leaning into the business analyst role. Now, why is this important? It's because sometimes the right answer for a request to build a new field or button is no. We are not order takers. This is not Burger King. You cannot always have it your own way. So it's very important as someone who's leaning into a business analyst role to really stand firm, 10 toes down in your no, because you have the insight into what's happening on the platform, what has already been built before, and what's coming up in the future to know that this is not a good idea. Or wait, there's other decisions that still need to be made, and we need to wait for that to really become more clear before we make a decision here now. Another important skill that shows you're leaning into a BA role is the ability to synthesize and recall significant ideas and key decisions. This just means that you're a person who can take information that you've received maybe a week ago, and now we're in a meeting, we're in a stand-up, we're having discussions, people are just calling out kind of things that they're working on, and your ears perk up about something that someone said. And you're the person who says, wait a minute, didn't we say last week that we're making this other decision? But now you just said this. So what changed? And why? And who needs to know about that change? This is how you are starting to synthesize the important decisions that are being made in your organization to show that you are a leader who cares about the direction that we're going, and you kind of want to keep us on track. That's very important advocacy for having a great Salesforce platform, to keep your data clean, and to let people know that you're there thinking through these types of problems. Also, you're intentionally seeking diverse perspectives to get a well-rounded understanding. It's very simple and it's very easy to get caught up in staying at your desk, on your team, behind your computer, just knocking stuff out every day. There's always more work to be done, right? And sometimes we feel safe knowing that if I just stay here and knock things out or maybe try to get ahead, then I'm good. But when you're a business analyst, you'll know that there is so much wisdom to be gained by going out and talking to other people. For some of us, there's not enough people who are on the technical team who have the skill or even the desire to talk to others. Let's just be honest. And those things that are called soft skills that likes to be thrown around, those are skills. Soft or not, they're valuable skills that need to be added to the conversation of a technical organization to keep business going. Also, our last skill is that you're using data to tell a story. What is the purpose of all the reports that we build, the graphs, the diagrams, if we're not able to tell a story about what these numbers and graphs are showing us? There's no need to do work that's just for show. There's no need to create a graph or a data sheet that's just showing numbers. We have to be able to take that information and really explain in plain English what the use and purpose of it is and what kind of decisions we need to make from that information. So let's talk about the mindset that you need to create. You need to know who your company is. Like, really, who are they? Who are they in the industry that they sit in? Where are they? Who are their competitors? How are they making money? How they make money shows what their goals are. And if you don't know what your company's goals are, it's going to be hard to align the goals and the technology needs together to make decisions that make sense. You also need to know what the processes are and why. And a very important thing about curiosity is to keep in mind that a business analyst is going to be curious without judgment. You may look at some processes that are in your organization and say, that doesn't make any sense. Why are we doing it that way? I would never do it that way. That's a dumb process. We should stop it right now. It's easy to sit back and judge, but there's history behind these processes that have been created. And it's better to stay open and judgment-free and continue to be curious so that you can actually ask deeper questions and get more answers in order to create empathy that's going to drive us to a better solution. Another habit, you want to start by leading from the inside out. So I always say, know yourself first. And you're here because you know yourself and you know there's a transition that you want to make. But you can start right now today by writing it down. I say write it down because, you know, it's great. Sometimes we have those people on our team. They're the go-to person. They have all the internal knowledge and nooks and crannies about how things are done in their head, but they never write anything down. So you always have to go to that person to get that solution. And, you know, good for them, but also how much does that support the overall team or company if all this important knowledge is hidden in one person's head? Write it down. Do yourself a favor and create a place where you're storing information, and it's a second brain. It's a place where you can dump all of that company information and then refer back to it when it's important to get back to it. Write it down also speaks to the need for you to start creating a portfolio of things that you're doing. When is the last time you wrote down your own process, how you do what you do, and why? That's a great place to start and a great process document to add to a portfolio. Start to synthesize information. So that's asking, so what? So I was just in this meeting for 30 minutes. What did I get from that? How does the information I just got now fit into what I heard last week and what I know is coming in the future? That's how you start to synthesize and really get to a place where you're making technology decisions that make sense overall. And then you want to build trust. How many of us are still working virtually? That's great. I want to challenge you to do this one simple thing because we're all humans, and psychologically, this just really helps us to build trust with other humans. Turn your camera on, right? Let people see your face. Even if you're not speaking, you're not the main speaker of that meeting, it's nice to have a face there that's showing a smile, a nod, I'm here, I'm listening, I'm reacting. That gives a lot of opportunity and energy for us to create a relationship with you, the person who wants to transition their career to another place. Master what you know about Salesforce, and then be informed about the things that are new. So Salesforce, as we know and have heard throughout this conference, it's a huge platform. There's so much going on. There's always new improvements. But you can start right where you are by mastering what you currently know. And just be really good at that. And then stay on your release notes, get on the Salesforce Plus app and listen to the different interviews that are going on. Stay informed, but you don't have to be a master of everything. Start data modeling. So your company probably already has tools that they're using. It might be Lucidchart. It might be some other data modeling tool. I'm going too fast. So you want to be able to use what your company already has and use it well. Find ways to bring value to what's already on the table. When I started as a business analyst, we had PowerPoint, and I had to drag little shapes onto a PowerPoint presentation in order to just show what my process was trying to be. Use what you got to get what you need to do. And then you want to really excel at the core competencies of a BA, which are trust, empathy, and communication. When you are showing that you're a person who can be trusted, and you're showing up with empathy and not judging people for what they're doing and how they're doing it, and you're communicating with different parties and different types of people across the organization, that is an important BA skill to have. I can't talk about being a business analyst without talking about relationship building. I encourage people to create both horizontal and vertical relationships. You are already a well-connected person. You have your family, the people you do your hobbies with, your friends, your greater community, and now you at the center are trying to build out in the area of your career. Think about those people who are horizontally next to you. Who's the team across from you? What do they do and why? Who's a person there that you might be able to talk to about what their processes are and, even let them know, I'm looking to transition into a BA role. How might you suggest I do that? Or how might I help your team? I want to take on some different projects. If there's any way I can fit in on your team, let me know. Then think vertically. Maybe there's a sponsor who would love to help you at your company get into that new role. Or even an architect who is way above you, might need some grunt work every once in a while. They appreciate that collaboration with someone with a BA mindset who can really act as a buffer to other teams and efforts that are going on across the company. But most of all, I want to caution you not to take on more work if you are not currently excelling at what's on your plate. So, start by taking a look at your job description as it stands right now. Are you fulfilling all the requirements of your current job? If you're doing that, then I would add on these other BA activities, because that keeps you safe. And that gives you the foundation to go to your company and say, hey, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm ready to take on this new role. Also, review your company policy. When you start using AI for different efforts that you're going through, make sure your company is on board with that. We just want to keep you safe. And then choose your next step. Maybe you need to just start following other BA thought leaders. You can read books and publications about being a BA. You can consider certifications. Salesforce has the Salesforce BA certification. But most of all, I want you to be vocal about where you want to go and why. You can tell your story through social media or just for the people that you work with day to day. I have some resources that will be available in this slide deck, and I encourage you to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm Co Forte on LinkedIn, and I look forward to hearing from you. So thank you again, everyone, for your time here. I'm open for any questions you might have. Again, it's survey time, so pull out those phones, go to your Salesforce Events app, and let us know how you felt about this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. We would love to get your opinion on this content, so please leave us some feedback on the comments section below. If you did like this content, give that like button a tap, and of course, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the Salesforce Admin's YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about being a Salesforce admin in general, head on over to admin.salesforce.com. Thanks again.